Welcome back to Demoted, everyone. Another
Today
day.
we're dressed like a boss.
Like a bouse, which is a boss?
A bouse?
A bouse. Rick Rouse bouse.
I'm
dipped
in my
sauce.
high heels on my tippies.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Ross texted me. Ross is such a woman. He's like, what are you wearing today?
And I texted that and I was like, that's a weird question for me to ask.
It's like, I'm wearing a gray full suit. Like, I'm really treating this professionally.
And obviously I sent tongue emoji back.
No.
I didn't.
It's like when girls are going to dinner, they're like, what are you wearing? Like,
Yeah.
I want to coordinate.
Well, I was like, once again, Talon, our producer, was like, dress like a boss.
Like a boss. And you were like, wait, I feel like a shell of a human because of this dinner we went to. I don't know what it's like to be a boss.
Yeah, we got to talk about this dinner because we were not bosses at this dinner.
Oh my God. We were at a Creator X founder dinner in San Francisco.
Classic crossover.
The crossover we didn't know we needed and maybe we don't need.
Yeah.
Why don't you give the context of how we show up?
Yeah, so we're in like the 40th floor of the Rincon Tower in San Francisco, which is like each floor only has 2 apartments. So these are like 5,000 square foot apartments. They look over the city, unbelievably gorgeous. And it's as fancy as an apartment as you can get. So we're naturally 30 minutes late.
Of course.
Because we don't know what we're doing. We're only 5 blocks away and we're still 30 minutes late.
We couldn't do anything right. Yeah.
And so what does any good dinner guest do? You're like, you can't show up empty-handed.
I said that.
You said that.
Yeah. And you're like, shit, you're right.
Luckily.
And we were the blind leaving the blind and we see a 7-Eleven.
We see a little corner store.
Yeah.
And so we walk in there and the first thing we say is, do you have any vapes?
No, we didn't.
We did say that. And the lady was like, ma'am, you can't sell vapes in San Francisco. And we're like, duh.
We're like, we're going to a dinner party.
Duh. Duh. We'll take the Casa Azul.
Of course. Do you have Casa Azul? So we get a Casa Azul. She rings it up. Who knew that was $260?
Yeah. And I think it was like $280.
$280.
And she's like, it's $280. We're like,
okay.
Oh.
And now, okay. Well, do you want to do your card or mine? We're freaking out. We're panicking. We're like, well, we're going to this really nice dinner. Let's just get it.
We got to look cool. I mean,
Okay.
we're talking about tech founders and some other creators there,
Totally.
big creators.
We
You're forgetting
go-
I also get Zins.
Yeah, of course. Crucial.
Because who doesn't want to walk in there with a...
Because again, we're going to a dinner party.
So I want to calm down. I need a little buzz. I need a little buzz before I walk in there. So I'm packing.
Oh my God.
Haven't eaten in hours.
We had no idea what we were doing. We had no idea what we were doing.
So we walk in.
This place is beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
First of all, it's a shoes off house.
Yeah.
So I have to take my shoes off and be barefoot in this home.
Yep.
And I'm in like a blazer set, like dressed up. That was the first crime of the night.
You were well dressed, perhaps overdressed.
Perhaps over.
Because we walk in there and there's like
T-shirts.
six string bean dudes standing there in their socks.
Totally.
Kind of just like awkwardly in a line.
Communal net worth, 10 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually though.
No,
there's
like
actual billionaires at this table.
Billionaires there. They're in t-shirts. They're in like Stanford hats and t-shirts.
Yep.
I'm for sure overdressed, but I didn't care about that. That was fine. I'm always overdressed.
Yeah, that's
slightly.
fine. Look good, play good.
The second crime we committed was the host of this dinner goes, let's go up to the roof.
Right.
See the roof.
Dope.
And there's a big sign that says, alarm will sound, building will shut down, please do not go to roof. He's like, oh, I have access, whatever, barrels through.
Yeah, we're rule followers. That's
we're
the
rule
thing.
followers. Like
I'm not out there to get arrested.
I'm not going to barrel through. I'm like, I can't be canceled right now.
Right.
Corporate
we have too much
Natalie,
to live
corporate
for.
bro.
Get arrested for trespassing.
Yeah, at a place they absolutely don't deserve to be. Okay, great. So we go up to the roof, alarms blaring.
Screaming at us.
And you would have thought these people, like, they didn't even blink.
No.
They didn't even think there was anything wrong with the alarm blaring. Ross and I keep looking around like, do you guys hear that?
Like, is a SWAT team about to come grappling down? Or are we going to take a helicopter shooting missiles at us?
Fully, like from the ceiling down.
Yeah.
And so alarms blaring, we see the roof, it's kind of rainy. I'm like, okay, it's raining on my head. I'm still barefoot.
By the way, view's gorgeous. Yeah,
view's gorgeous. We'll put a photo. I took a photo of Ross. The whole thing was just like kind of strange. Then we go downstairs and we start dinner.
Well, before dinner, let's talk about how nobody's drinking but us.
Oh my God. He's of course doing Whole30 because that's what tech founders do.
Right. So he goes, let's do some shots. And by let's do some shots,
he meant
Corp and Natalie are going to do some shots together and we're all going to watch.
And we're founders and we don't drink.
Yeah.
We like choke it down. Delicious.
Delicious. Love that stuff.
Delicious.
Casa Azul, highly recommend.
If you guys want to sponsor us, we're here. You've
and these shots were like little plastic cups filled to the brim. So these were like little 3 shots. I don't know.
Then we sit down and the worst possible fate occurs.
Just everybody's nightmare if you don't know anybody.
Everybody's nightmare. We know no one but each other. And the host of the dinner goes, let's introduce someone at the table who you just met.
Great. I've been here for 8 seconds. I've taken a shot and I've
still have a
broken the
sin
law.
And I've broken the law. I don't know any of you. I can barely remember your names. I'm so starstruck. I'm so scared. I'm in my blazer. I'm sweating.
Yep.
You're in a t-shirt. I don't know these people. I feel uncomfortable. Oh, and now I have to introduce someone and tell them the bio that I'm going to make up in my head that I don't know.
I mean, these people are wearing watches that are worth 30, 40 grand.
It was terrifying. Of course, got to intro you, which was my safe space.
And then I immediately was like, guys, I don't know anybody here.
It was
and I'm really embarrassed.
awkward. It was like super awkward. Then we sat down and we're like eating our salads. We're like, have you ever felt smaller?
Yeah, I hadn't felt that small in a long time.
They're talking about things that like I personally have never heard in my life. I didn't know if we were speaking Japanese. Yeah. I didn't know what language
they had sold
talking.
A startup. They had,
one guy's introing his startup that's in stealth mode.
It's in stealth.
And I look over, I'm like, are the SWAT team going to come in? Like,
yeah.
He's like, yeah, I would speak on that, but it's in stealth mode.
Classic. We'll go fuck ourselves. You're worth $1 billion. Let's drop the music.
Demoted.
Today we're talking about horrible bosses. If you don't see us in our fitted, just boss chic uniforms, we asked our followers for some confessions on horrible bosses. And I knew that bad bosses existed.
They exist. They're out there.
We know this. Yeah. I didn't realize the degree to which people are honestly oppressed.
Oh yeah.
In the workplace. Like,
it's real.
Oh my God. Physical violence.
Yeah.
Misogyny.
Gaslighting.
Like the most Devil Wears Prada absurd asks that I've ever even heard of.
Humans are freaks.
Why do people belittle other humans in this way?
People love power. People love to flex that power. And as George Carlin said, the famous comedian, the average person is stupid. Therefore, half of people are dumber than that. So you think about people who find themselves in like leadership positions. They're not all the smart, empathetic, high EQ people.
Totally.
So we're going to talk about nightmare bosses, terrible bosses. We're going to do a little promoted, demoted boss theme.
The meat of this episode will be these confessions that we got from all of you.
And there's a non-zero chance this is a 2-part episode because we got so much rich content.
So much rich content between Ross's and my channel soliciting this. I mean, people were ready to talk.
Yeah.
Some were like, just telling you this, you can't speak on it because it's an active lawsuit. But just wanted to let you know. I'm like, okay.
Sure.
Great. I'll keep my mouth shut on that. Yeah, you want to send me the legal papers? Yeah. Awesome. Let's get into some of these confessions, shall we?
Let's just bust them out. All right, so we've got screenshots here of these confessions that people submitted to us on Instagram and through the Demoted podcast website.
Yes. We're going to read them to you.
I can scroll for a while.
Let's just get started.
Yeah. Would you like to kick us off?
I would like to kick us off.
Kick us right off.
Made me drive through a wildfire to get to the office, and he stayed home to avoid it.
Well, you don't want to lose your best people. Boss wouldn't approve my bereavement request without an obituary.
I can't believe that. I got actually 20 of those.
It's like...
Boss requested grandma's obituary. Literally.
Yeah.
20 of those.
That's tough.
Poked me with his cane and said I was fun to harass because it bothered me so much. Have you ever had a boss with a cane?
No. No, I haven't. I was
Let alone one that he weaponizes?
The geriatric boss poking you with a cane. You like that? I just like fucking with you because you get mad about it.
Totally.
Okay.
Well,
okay, Stanley.
I don't like when you poke me with your cane. Yeah. Okay, can I draw the line somewhere?
Yeah. Maybe don't physically touch me. All right. When I told my boss I bought a home, he was like, where are people getting money from?
Like, imagine. Like, wait, I'm totally underpaying you guys.
Yeah.
Where are you getting that money from?
There's just no way you should be able to afford a house. You're supposed to be stuck here.
You're supposed to live here in the office. What the hell are you doing with a roof over your head? Headed on maternity leave and told me, have a nice vacation. Winked with attitude. Oh, you're not allowed to take care of your kid.
Wow.
Oh, you're not allowed to take
emoji.
Your legal right of maternity. Got it.
Wow.
Sorry, did you want me to breastfeed and heal in the office? Would you prefer that? So many maternity leave ones.
I'm sure.
I can't even explain. Like
the new mother's room was packed.
Like one was like, and I hope we get to it, like got a text urgent in the delivery room. Is it really urgent? Because I'm popping something out.
Yeah. I'm sort of busy.
I'm kind of busy. This is kind of a
bringing a life into this world.
Big moment for me. God.
Yeah, but the deal's trying to close the deal. Anyway, when my boss is working from home, she sends her husband, who works at our firm, over to spy on us.
Keep
it in the family.
Love an internal spy.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Boss shared what his last meal would be if he was on death row. Quote, a woman. Like, let's go around the circle and share what our last meal would be on death row. Like, we got some great restaurants around here. Like, what would everyone...
5'5", busty young lass. That's someone who deserves to be on death row would say.
What do you mean? Yeah. You're going to say that in front of your colleagues?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'm sick. I don't even know what to say to that. Okay. Manager slapped my best friend at a conference and then said it was a quote love tap.
Love a good love tap.
Me and my boys, when we wrestle, we just, we punch each other in the face.
We just like to slap them across the face until it bruises.
Right. And that should
Close
definitely
fist.
carry over to the workplace.
Totally. That's a love tap for you. Former boss came to find me in the bathroom for a question. I had to say no from the stall.
You recognize the shoes under there?
Yeah. Hey, Terry, quick question for you. Is now a good time?
That's why whenever I was like using the bathroom at work, I would keep my feet up, pressed against the walls. So
you had your squatty potty that you bring to work.
Right.
So they couldn't
You always got to bring that. Highly recommend.
A boss once taught me how to use a light switch because I forgot to turn off the light once.
That's not even passive aggressive at all.
Like imagine being like, hey, Cassandra, could you come over here? I want to show you this here light switch.
Yeah, so this is the light switch.
Here's how you use it.
Focus.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I would cry.
I would fight him.
I would cry.
I would probably fight, yeah. All right, this one says, asked me to bring his dog's stool sample to the vet.
A lot of weird asks you're going to be
A lot of
hearing
weird
in
asks.
here.
That's like a...
I read one that was like, told me to clear the entire conference of pistachios because they were an ugly nut.
Okay.
Kind of.
Kind of an ugly nut.
Kind
of one of my favorite nuts.
Go grab all the pistachios. And by the way, here's a bag of my dog's shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, if you wouldn't mind just taking that to the vet real quick.
Be back by our 2 p.m.
Big old stool sample. Perfect.
I had a boss with a glass eye. It fell out and rolled down the conference room table at me. Are you kidding me? Was this the same dude with the cane?
Is this a pirate?
Have you ever met anyone with a glass eye?
I have. And if it was me, I would probably be popping my eye out all the time.
You just be popping that?
Think about how people react to it. Like, oh, there it goes. And then you look at them and you got a hole in your face.
The hole in the face. The eye sans glass eye, like the socket, is a really scary thought to
It's
me.
a scary thought. Yeah.
So not only am I looking at your glass eye, but then I'm looking at your skull, right? Like, because what else is through the hole?
I'm also imagining being really quiet and just rolling down a conference room table, and that's all you hear. And you're just watching this little pupil just rotate.
We're all like, as it just teeters across.
Do I catch it?
Who picks it up?
Is it moist when I catch it?
Is it wet? Who picks it up?
I don't know.
Do you lube up your glass eye? Please contact demotedpodcast.com.
Let us know how glass eyes work.
What do you do with your glass eye?
Yeah, do you need to lube it up before you put it? Okay. Was told grandma had 48 hours to live. Boss asked me if I could still take calls while I was with her.
Thank you. No, now's a great time.
Yeah, now is a perfect time. My grandma's over there dying, but
totally.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'd love to run you through a demo.
Hey guys, sorry I'm dialed in. What's up?
Yeah, grandma, could you stop bitching?
I can't.
God, you still have 46 more hours.
God, can I just take one call? My boss used to say, good girl, to me.
Oh, it makes me a little sick because I say good boy to all my boys.
You do say good boy.
I pat them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He told me I needed to get my teeth cut.
Thank you.
There's like the phrase cutting teeth in terms of like...
Is that a phrase?
It is a phrase.
Got it.
Like you got to get out there and cut your teeth on... I don't know. It's kind of like getting experience. It's kind of just like... But I don't know if this is...
It feels like this person read that as like...
Literal.
You need to trim them.
Yeah. Like your teeth are too long.
Go to the dentist, get a little buzz.
Yeah.
I was put on a PIP with the feedback to smile and nod more frequently.
Oh, well, if you're a woman, you should absolutely
Obviously,
do that.
my boss was a man.
Oh, is that the next part?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I think there's a lot of women who can learn from that.
Like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Boss accidentally took call on speaker with fiance in hot tub trying to sexy talk. We all heard.
Is there a hot tub in your office?
Yeah. Why is this happening?
I'm just curious. Is there a hot tub in your office?
Where is everybody during this?
Where is everybody?
SKO Vegas? Maybe.
Friend in labor with twins, one critical. Boss called her on her cell to ask a question about a bill.
Well,
That's
one
good.
of them's fine. I mean, you're getting one for sure.
One of them's totally fine.
Yeah.
So can you take the call? It's an expense report.
50% is not bad.
It's really urgent.
It's super urgent. I mean,
Yeah.
Where did this $6 charge from Walmart come from?
No, literally.
My boss made a new hire bark like a dog in a meeting this morning. That's humiliating and funny.
My first boss would take off his shirt to eat lunch so he wouldn't spill food on himself. Oh, there's Chris. Yeah.
Oh, he's at lunch.
Hairy chest.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm just picturing just a frumpy middle-aged man just
No,
dining
like
in a
bald,
conference room.
like somehow wrapping a napkin around too.
Yeah.
Just like hanging and then his belly's out.
Ugh, I would not eat lunch probably. Okay. My old boss paid employee A to get him a subscription to employee B's OnlyFans account.
That's great.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious if I found out my employee had an OnlyFans, like my colleague had an OnlyFans.
And they're just both talking about, I don't know.
Like if it's out there and that's like going around the office, like there's a non-zero chance. I'm just gonna be honest that I'm probably gonna just I might find out. Maybe subscribe to like the free tier.
And I like might look as well. Like I think that's like a shared.
Like I'm curious.
Yeah. Like what is your kind of niche? You know, like
and how much are you pulling?
The corporate thing.
Like how much money are you making?
What are you doing? How many subscribers? Like
because I'm genuinely curious. Like if people are making a lot of money on OnlyFans.
Totally.
And I'm
like why do you still have the job? Right. This is kind of, you have a series about this. You'll find this funny. He yelled career limiting move at me from a limo in Vegas when I refused to go to a topless show.
You know, I'm not going to agree, but I will say there are moments like that.
I think that's funny. That's like so not okay in any capacity.
Yeah.
But that's funny.
He's joking. Yeah. You shouldn't do that.
No.
Got slapped upside the head by a boss, parentheses, and verbally abused numerous times.
Wow.
A lot of physical stuff.
A lot of physical stuff in these. And we'll just like take a pause. Obviously, we're reading these and like sharing these with you all. If you're being treated like this and you're being slapped upside the head or poked with a cane by your boss, that is not how the workplace should be operating.
It's not right. It's not funny.
It's not funny and it's not right.
I'm laughing, not because it's funny, but because I'm uncomfortable.
I'm so uncomfortable.
I'm so cringe.
It's like when you start laughing at a funeral. Like you're just like, you can't stop.
I don't know what else to do.
I don't know what else to do.
In a nutshell.
I don't know what else to do.
I mean, also some of the stuff that people are saying, like some of these bosses are saying, like, absolutely not.
How are you not in jail? Straight to jail.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who should not be in leadership positions, and we got a whole list of them right here.
I can't.
Boss cheated on husband with my brother and told me details before realizing we were related.
Oh, saucy.
So we just want to talk about something in our one-on-one today.
Called me kiddo. I was 35.
How old was...
Hey, champ.
How old was she?
I literally...
Ladies using the word champ. It's common.
I can't with it's any common. Sort of like, hey, champ.
Yeah.
Hey, kiddo.
It's so belittling.
It's so belittling.
I mean, buddy, I do say it, but I say it to be belittling.
Buddy. Oh my God. Hey, buddy.
Hey, nice job, kiddo. You good kid.
You keep it up. You're a good kid.
Owner boss got super drunk and shit his pants in the Uber on a work trip with me in Miami.
Yeah.
Miami will do that to you.
I mean, again, a lot of poo-poo pee-pee.
A lot of poo-poo pee-pee out there.
Yeah.
You don't think about that in a corporate podcast. The amount of poo-poo pee-pee that comes up in our podcast is just wild.
No, and we like vetted these. Like we had multiple rounds of reviews.
Yeah.
Like, these are the top of the top.
We cut some of the poo-poo pee-pee.
We cut a lot. Yeah. For our team building, she took us to a clothing optional bathhouse. Hey guys, so let's all hop in the van.
Team building.
Shirts, shorts, you can leave in the office and then we'll just head in the van and then we'll go to the bathhouse.
Yeah.
Does that sound good? We could hit Chili's after?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
I've been to one of those and I got swine flu immediately the next day.
You've been to a bathhouse?
I've been to a bathhouse.
Okay.
Turkish-Russian bathhouse in New York City. It was underground. It was a very strange place.
I feel like we need a whole episode on that.
We'll talk about it later. I'm still shook.
Wow.
I'm still shook. Okay. Got mad at me when I didn't want to continue using the desk that had mouse droppings. Okay. Wipe off the mouse droppings.
I would never. I have my final one here.
Okay.
My boss stole my Adderall. I actually know the full story behind this, and it's insane, and I can't share it.
If you're going to steal your employees' Adderall, steal one pill at a time.
Like, oh my God.
That's just good advice from me.
From you, who's done it.
Who does it all the time.
Who does it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last one from me. My boss called me Icarus when I asked for a raise.
I cried at that one.
That is
Icarus.
Hilarious. Oh, real risk taker here asking for a raise.
You've flown too close to the sun.
Yeah, just like, I respect the ask. I always respect the ask.
Like, oh my gosh. Okay. So those were our kind of short form confessions that we got in our questions box on our Instagrams. Just to give you a taste of like how messed up the working world is right now.
Not that you didn't know.
I read these. I was like, wait, is it 2024? I cannot believe these things are happening.
They're bad. They're bad. And I wish there was a catch-all remedy for it. But the reality is...
Jail. I mean, we got to make our jails bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to expand the prison system.
We got to expand the prison system. I mean, it's crazy. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Nothing else to say on that.
Yeah.
We'll get to a couple longer form, like real confessions and stories that are kind of like more of a Dear Demoted style, maybe at the end of the episode if we have time.
Yeah.
We're going to pivot a little bit to talk about like our personal stories with bosses. And while they pale in comparison to the ones we just read.
Yeah.
We'll just give you like a little taste for kind of Ross and me in the corporate world.
I'm a lucky boy.
I feel very lucky and very blessed with some incredible bosses for sure.
I only really had, I think about all my bosses, a lot of them I'm still close with. I still text with them from time to time. I still hit them up. I had one boss who wasn't even my direct, was a VP who was just reigned with fear.
Yeah.
Patrolling the office early in the morning to make sure everybody was seated.
Oh God.
Would make you feel bad if you were,
That TikTok sound.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like, I lived an hour and a half away. So I was waking up, driving in the darkness every morning from Presidio in San Francisco to Mountain View.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
I would slowly be drifting in the morning because it's pitch black and I'm tired, but I wasn't sure if I was tired or if I was just
scared and delusional.
or just ready to drive off the road.
Totally.
I was ready.
Totally.
Just take me.
No, that's like very scary and very real.
And like, so the fear thing, I never had a boss physically do anything to me.
No cane pokes.
No cane pokes.
Yeah.
No weird advances.
Totally.
Very fortunate about that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure part of that has to do with me being a guy. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Some
Oh,
of
you're
these
so
stories,
lucky. Oh, you weren't told during your mat leave
to smile.
To smile more.
Yeah. Smile more on camera. And if you
Okay,
could go
good.
ahead and just fix that during your
I'm so
birth.
glad you haven't faced that. I was worried about you.
No, I mean, my boss, Nick, JG, Warnicky, aka the War Machine.
Oh my God.
I mean,
these are so your boss names.
I know,
like,
of course.
Trevor, Travis,
Yeah.
Brad.
Yeah, of course.
Those are my homies. We still text every
Those
day.
are my guys.
Like, oh my
Those
God.
are my guys who went to
Oh my
war
God.
for me. Those guys.
I will shout out my great bosses as well. Kathy,
Kath.
Jody, Stephanie.
Yep.
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah.
Freaking Steve. Sounds like we've been pretty lucky with bosses. What about bad? Do you have any bad boss stories? Terrible boss stories?
I have a boss who was an extreme oversharer, which I like love sharing kind of the tea on my life for sure. But I do think in a professional setting, like there is a small line that like you maybe shouldn't cross, such as I've actually referenced this before. Like my partner and I are going to go to where the Salem witch trials occurred in Massachusetts.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And do some kind of sexual voodoo spells.
Right.
Why do you have to say sexual?
Yeah.
Hang on. What?
Yeah.
Like similar, just like such oversharing. Like my partner and I went to the bathhouse, like all these things that I'd be like, okay, so now I'm picturing you naked.
Yeah.
Now I'm picturing you
Yeah.
naked.
Thanks for that.
And I don't want to. So what are the action items for today? So I could name like just a list a mile long of things. We went to a drag show together, like just so many things we did that like probably crossed the line
Right.
of professional versus personal.
Right. And of course it's okay to be personal, but there definitely is kind of a bell curve of once you get over that, you're just like,
Totally. And usually I feel like it's the reverse. Like your employee is oversharing with you,
Yeah.
which is fine. But me as my boss, I'm like, I'm not reciprocating this level of information at
Right.
all. Like
Right.
even once, like I don't even think he knew
right. I know.
if I liked boys or
We
girls.
only talked about the orgies you go to, I think, once.
Yeah, we only like referenced it once lightly. Like
Yeah.
it was just,
Like in passing. We didn't even dive into it.
that was a lot.
Aside from the oversharing, was this boss like a good lead, like a good manager, a good leader?
I wouldn't say that, no,
Yeah.
on the list of things.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a lot of like guilt given to me of like, well, because of my anxiety, because of my XYZ, like I'm going to take some time. And it would just be like in the middle of the workday, you'd take like 5 hours.
Right.
And he actually ended up being let go, like by his boss. So
Yeah.
like but there was a lot of like, I'm taking time and like, don't tell anyone and like, don't make me feel bad about it. And which is totally fine. Like take the time you need.
Yeah.
But it was just like very frequent. And
Your boss was MIA a lot.
it was MIA.
When you need him.
And it became, yeah. And then he'd like share these things with me and like let me in on what he was doing during those times. But I was like, okay, what do you want me to do with the deliverables?
Yeah, hey, I gotta sneak out of here for a few hours. Again, I will be gone next week for the Salem Witch Trials Fuckfest. But
Exactly.
But I'm gonna get out of here.
He's gone.
If you need anything, like I'm not online.
Yeah, not online.
Not useful.
So those were but great bosses as we shouted out as well. So largely very positive.
Yeah, I feel super, super fortunate with my bosses.
I had a male boss tell me to stop trying so hard once.
Oh.
I was
Did you stop trying so hard?
No.
It's kind of annoying.
So annoying.
You try so hard.
It was
What, do you care about your job?
It was at like,
Ugh.
literally.
Disgust me.
Why? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm trying. Is that,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No,
Is
he
that
doesn't-
unbecoming of me as a woman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could go ahead and be a little more submissive.
If you could just know your role.
Yeah.
Here, that would be great. I think we should give some of our advice on like how to be an effective leader and boss.
Right. We're shitting on all these leaders, but like if we got to at least prove that we're great.
Let's share how we would do it.
Yeah.
You know, if we were in the
And
boss
arguably
seat
how we do it because we manage people.
and how we do it. So,
I'll start with my first piece of advice on being a great boss.
yeah.
And that is if they don't fear you, they can never respect you.
Mine would then be set the expectation that people should be working at least 100 hours a week. Anything less, fire them.
Right. Create a gladiator-like culture, complete with drama and backstabbing, because that way you know who your true top performers are.
Yeah, definitely. Gaslight your subordinates so they know who wears the pants.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Before delivering a compliment, look the person in the eye and lick your top lip twice. You're doing such a good job.
So important. Use AI to create a naked image of your direct report to scare them into thinking you have access to their nudes. Even if they deny it, insist it is in fact real.
Right. Deepfakes are getting good. And you should
Getting good, and
absolutely
you should use
weaponize
it.
them.
Weaponize them.
I know I will. Never go more than 47 minutes without attempting to communicate with your subordinates, be it calls, texts, Slack, Teams messages, or constant Venmo requests for 1 cent. You must always be on their mind.
Important. 1 cent request, breathing my air.
Right, just request. You see a request every 47 minutes
Yeah.
for 1 penny.
God, okay, I guess I'll fulfill this. Don't allow anyone to complete a task in full without you micromanaging every step. They need to know you care more than them and are involved every step of the way.
Yeah, again, that's what a good boss does. They lead from the front.
Yep.
Start a love triangle with the parents of your lowest performer. Make them call you daddy.
Use physical force in the office if it doesn't feel like deadlines are being met. A little push or shove here and there won't hurt anyone.
Right. I'm not saying go to the cane because cane is technically a weapon.
Totally.
But anything you can deliver with your hands, I think that totally fits in the realm of doable and
fair play.
Perhaps encouraged.
So those were our pieces of advice
Yeah.
on how to be a good and effective boss.
And if you guys want to try these, like employ these, let us know. Send us a message. Let us know how it worked for you.
How's it working? How's it going?
Like I really encourage the love triangle one because you want to be part of the personal life too.
Yeah.
Right.
And I do think like when you are the actual father of your employee,
Right.
it helps.
It definitely changes the dynamic.
It changes the dynamic.
They respect you and like, you know, it's like, I'm your dad. Like I can say that. Like I can push you.
Definitely.
You know? That's why they call me Coach P.
Totally.
Call me Daddy P. It depends. Depends on who. Okay. Well, now that we're canceled.
Now that we're canceled, we do need to say, of course, that's not how you should be a boss.
It's not how you should be a boss.
And it's like annoying that we can't just like roll into our next segment, but we do have to say like, please don't listen to us.
Please don't listen to us.
Like we do have like, you know, some bit of influence and like we do want you to know that's not what we would encourage.
Yeah, those are what we call in the business jokes.
That would be a joke. But
yeah, I mean, nobody was laughing, but
silence fell among the office.
Yeah.
But here we are. Okay, we're now going to read a couple like longer form confessions that we got.
yeah, quick. They're long.
They're not like super long, but just like more in kind of a Dear Demoted style.
Yeah.
Of, like we might weigh in on these a little more than the quick hitters.
Yeah. I had a boss that was terrible, but to show how much, the day I quit, I went to his office to give a verbal resignation out of courtesy, and he blankly stared at me. I awkwardly backed out of his office, and he refused to say a word and did not reply to my email. I had to have HR offboard me because he just went on pretending I didn't resign. I'm still not sure to this day the reason for that silent tantrum, but he was director level, so you would never expect that from him.
Wow.
Silent treatment.
You're so mature.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for throwing this little fit here. This hissy fit.
It's like a relationship breakup where someone just like, and you're dead to me and like gone. See ya.
I fell off the face of the
Like
earth.
I simply don't see you in time or space anymore.
No, like you don't exist in my world.
Does
at
anybody
least.
hear anything talking?
Sorry, I just heard that little, I don't know, is it kind of a buzzing?
Yeah, like a low hum.
Wow. Very scary.
Well, clearly, whatever it is, I don't give a shit about it. So
No.
I'll move on.
Don't care. Okay, so at an unpaid internship for a celebrity marketing agency, I had to handwrite a thank you note for a high-profile model. I warned my boss I had bad handwriting, and he insisted I still do this for him because he had no time to do it for himself, even though it was coming from him. About 30 minutes after I dropped it off on his desk, he came storming into a very open public lobby space where the interns sat and proceeded to scream at me and how horrible this note looked before literally ripping up the note and throwing it in the trash in front of me and everyone else in the room. This man is now the CEO of the entire agency.
Good.
Why?
I mean, I appreciate a handwritten note, but also my handwriting looks like loose Egyptian hieroglyphics. It's bad. It's bad. It looks like a child stole a crayon and just started
And like
scribbling.
when you're being so transparent, like I just want to flag, like I don't have the best handwriting.
Yeah, right whoosh.
Nope.
Don't give a shit.
Again, what's that faint buzzing? I don't hear you.
Yeah.
You don't exist. Write it.
Until you want to come in there and just berate them publicly.
It's so scary. I DM'd. I was like, did you cry? I would. She's like, absolutely. I was sobbing.
Absolutely, I cried.
Are you kidding me?
Right there in the middle of the floor. Okay. My nonprofit boss scheduled an all-day team, quote, retreat in the office and ordered lunch from all of us from her favorite vegan restaurant. Then Venmo requested us $25 each.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love getting a Venmo request.
Yeah.
For vegan food that I didn't ask for.
Yeah. Yeah. From a forced retreat, in-office retreat.
Yep. No, thank you. Thank you so much for
you couldn't even try to expense it.
the Venmo request. I appreciate it.
I would just throw a little mini tantrum.
Yeah.
I'd be making snarky remarks the rest of the...
Maybe the silent tantrum, which we've heard is like an effective strategy that this director used.
I don't know if this is worth $25. I don't know.
Just decline the request.
Yeah. Just full on decline.
Yeah.
Send it again.
Send it again. Maybe I'll
It'll get lost in my 1 cent requests.
Maybe I'll reconsider at a later date. While unmuting, are you there or washing the dishes? Same guy. Isn't your husband in banking? He should dress you better.
Oh.
The same guy got fired for offering clients Coke at a Christmas party and sex with a young BDR in a hotel room.
Salespeople, huh?
People don't change.
Yeah.
I can't believe the misogyny that was laced in kind of these confessions.
Yeah.
I thought kind of I guess I live in California and I feel very empowered and I saw the Barbie movie 6 times.
Yeah. Great film.
I didn't realize these things happened.
They do happen apparently. And they are everywhere, and it doesn't matter what time period we live in.
Literally.
It just manifests in different ways.
It's so scary.
I just don't get how people, where are they learning this from? Where is this okay?
Who is teaching this, and why is it okay? I thought we're at a place where we just know that those things don't fly, but we're not. It's actually quite disheartening.
It's actually quite disheartening. I wish I had good advice where it's just if you give them a swift karate chop to the throat, they'll stop.
Totally.
Maybe if we just spend a little more time, we could completely deconstruct the oppression in the workplace here.
Yeah.
That's what we're put on this earth to do.
Totally. And we don't have the answer. And
we don't have the answer.
So we don't, but
we couldn't be any less qualified.
We couldn't be any less qualified. But gosh, it's crazy. Okay.
God, I'm sorry to all the people who are having to deal with this. That fucking sucks.
So sorry. Truly. Should we do a little promote?
On that note,
let's transition.
Let's do a little promoted, demoted, and we'll get out of this episode so you guys can,
I don't know, enjoy your day.
Enjoy the rest of your life.
Yeah. Okay.
Promoted, demoted. Posting family pictures on LinkedIn.
I'm promoting it.
Yeah.
I kind of like sharing personal things.
Yeah, you kind of do that.
My roommate was going to make a LinkedIn post about a retreat she went on. It was a women's retreat. And at this ski retreat, she was literally airlifted off the mountain because they put her in one of those things that zoom down the mountain and you're laying in
they're
it.
laying in a toboggan,
you're
getting pulled by ski patrol.
Laying in it. And someone snapped a photo of her when she was doing it. I was like, you have to put that.
Yeah.
That adds such a fun twist to this post. You have to add it.
How was your weekend? Pretty good. How about you?
Totally. I swear that added 5x the likes.
Oh yeah,
it's
for
just
sure.
Fun. And the family photos I think are similar. You're just sharing this side of yourself. Do you disagree?
I don't know why I somewhat disagree. I think it's fine if it's looped in with some purpose around
work or
something.
Got to take vacation with my family and
and here's 5 things that I realized about how to manage people better based off my daughter.
Totally.
I don't know. I think worked in every now and then it's totally fine.
Every now and then.
I think if LinkedIn becomes
is not Facebook.
Yeah, right. That's where I draw the line.
Totally.
So it's a little bit, I don't know. Sometimes people go too far and I think a lot about LinkedIn is delivering some value to people, be it entertainment or otherwise. And I think working in personal stuff is good to make you a complete human, but I think too much of it, I'm just it's kind of like the parents who share nothing but baby photos all the fucking time.
I mean, we know your stance on
how many times do I got to see your little potato?
Yeah.
Then I just mute those. I mute those. I don't need to see another one of your potato.
He looks the exact same he did a month ago. I don't know.
Oh my God, he's wearing a backwards hat. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Photos of your baby, demoted.
Demoted from me. No,
Okay.
you can post pictures of your baby. Just don't make it your whole idea. When your Instagram or whatever becomes just your baby, I struggle.
Yeah. Okay. I can't wait till you have one and just you put a backwards hat on him and you're just he's riding a skateboard. I'm so proud of little Miles.
Miles with a Y.
Okay. Promoted or demoted? Having a boss that's younger than you.
Promoted if they're good.
Yeah, I get asked this a lot.
I understand why that can be hard. I understand why there's a questionable dynamic that's at play. But I think if they're conducting themselves in a professional way, in a mature way, then it's fine.
And having a bit of self, I don't know, just a sliver of
self-awareness.
And I know that you maybe have the more experience in this area.
Yeah, totally.
Kind of not I know it all and I'm your boss and I'm better than you. It's you are younger, you know that.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's how people wield that piece of information.
I see that a lot with creators and influencers, honestly, very young people who have these older managers and teams who technically report to the creator.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know, it's a little, that's where it gets a little iffy.
Yeah. I can see why it creates an interesting dynamic. I think some people if you're older and in the subordinate position, how you there may be moments where you're like, they're just young, they're stupid. Like this feels bad.
Yeah.
I can understand why that might feel bad.
And it might just kind of weigh on you.
Yeah. I mean, I look at Major League Baseball players and they're all 20 years younger than me, born in like 2010. And I'm like,
dang it. I mean, that's how I feel about The Bachelorette. I'm like, wait, I always thought these were like old, really, really old women.
Yeah.
And now they're all younger than me.
right. It's weird.
Sorry, what?
That's hard to come to grips with.
I'm an old hag?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, no.
Awesome.
I mean, compared to me, shit.
Perfect. Good to know.
Over a third of my life is already over.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Isn't that sad? Anyway.
Okay.
Speaking of fun things.
Anyway.
Promoted, demoted, 2 weeks notice.
What?
So some people just quit on the spot.
No, you have to give 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think you
Unless you're being like harassed, as some of these people are in our comments. That's
Yeah.
when you can kind of leave.
I think it's actually an interesting one because a lot of people would say nowadays, like I think I was firmly of course you give 2 weeks, like it's the right thing to do. And I still do believe it's the right thing to do. In sales, when you give your 2 weeks, you often get walked out immediately.
Wow.
Like they'll pay you for 2 weeks, but they're like, hey, like a lot of companies will be like, I don't mean this bad way. We don't want you here now because you're done. Like we don't want you in our dealings because you're technically about to leave and we don't need you to know what's happening in the company right now.
Yeah,
so
which
like,
great. I'll
this is
take
great.
2 weeks off.
Exactly. I'll take 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
That's great. There are people who are also like, fuck this company. They treated me like shit. It's been incredibly toxic. Like I quit. Like I don't owe, because a lot of it is about owing the company, right? Like, it's the right thing to do.
I don't owe you
But
2
what
weeks.
do you owe the
I think
company?
when you're being treated badly, and it's like totally.
Yeah.
But I do think when you're planning to leave and like you have a decently healthy relationship, like you definitely
it's
owe
the right
that
thing to do.
time.
If you respect your boss, you have a good relationship with your boss, it's like, I give you 2 weeks. I want to offboard to make sure this transition goes smoothly, get my letters a rec, whatever it is. I think.
Of course. I'm promoting 2 weeks notice.
Yeah, I'll promote it too.
Promoted or demoted? Schaumburg, Illinois.
That's going to be a hard demote for me.
Okay.
So the reason this is brought up is because I went to a conference last week that was labeled as Chicagoland.
Totally.
40 minutes outside Chicago. Raining,
I actually
snowing.
I can't see Chicago from here through the hailstorm.
Correct. You would land in O'Hare and you go the opposite direction of Chicago to get to Schaumburg, Illinois.
Yep. Perfect.
I didn't leave the Marriott for 4 straight days.
Okay, Seth.
Yeah. I was trapped. The best thing they had was an IKEA across the street. I was just looking out the window at it. Like,
Totally.
Swedish meatballs could be kind of fire.
Hand pressed against the window.
Just don't lie to me.
No.
Don't
lie to
sell me on Chicago and it's Schaumburg.
Yeah, you're ready to like walk the streets, Michigan Ave.
I'm sure 3 months of the year, Schaumburg is lovely.
See the river.
A lovely burb.
Not happening.
Yeah. Pretty much 18-wheeler trucks and an IKEA.
Schaumburg, Illinois.
Demote for me.
Demoted.
Demote for me because I was hoodwinked. Promoted, demoted, title-only promotions. This is an interesting one.
I've had people in my working life who care far more about their title than their comp.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also had the reverse. I fall on the comp side.
I fall on the title side.
You fall on the title side. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I would prefer to be paid more and have a better lifestyle.
Yeah.
And like, I'll totally be called BDR. Like, I don't care. I don't care
Sure.
what I'm being called.
Sure.
Why do you fall on the title side?
So I guess for me with the title thing, I always believed money would come. So I wanted to advance up the ladder as quickly as I possibly could because I believed if the money, which is obviously important, would become more important to me later on, it was like, I'm already in management. I'm a young man. I'm 27 and I get to manage people. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll jump from a big corporation to a startup, get the 30% pay raise, but I'm a manager and now I'm 28.
Yeah.
Right. So I felt like it gave me a flexibility to jump to find the raise versus just like, because if you're stuck in a BDR role, like you're kind of stuck in a BDR role, even if you're getting paid a lot, and then find somewhere else that's going to pay you more as a BDR. They're like,
I
"You're
mean,
only BDR."
and maybe this is more important in sales, but like a title means something completely different
For sure.
at different companies.
For sure.
Like a manager at Deloitte, you're like you're 32, you're like, you've really earned it to get there. Where I
You're
have
old as
friends
fuck at
who are
32.
managers at, no, like, but just it means like you have to work so hard to get there. And it's like a very specific thing. Whereas
sure.
I had friends fresh out of college working at like a startup who were called manager because that was in their
It's true.
email signature and they were in sales and like that made more sense. And the boss was like, just call yourself a manager.
Everybody in sales is a director of something.
Totally. And
Which
it's
I
like,
totally agree.
That doesn't matter at all.
Salesforce,
Like,
everyone's a VP. They've got AVPs, GVPs, SVPs,
Yeah.
just VPs.
Totally.
RVPs, that's 5 levels of VP.
that's 5 VPs and I don't care about any of them.
Yeah.
Personally, pay me more.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what I say.
That's fair.
But I'm going to, this is maybe our first like disagreement. I'm going to demote title only promotions.
Yeah, so there's one other piece to this that's actually really interesting now I've talked to people, a lot of them millennial managers or like millennial founders. They're like, people come in here, and especially in startups where vertical mobility is tough, people want to feel progression, right? They want to feel growth. And so they've started doing title only promotions because people are like, fuck you, I'm going to leave. Like, I've been here for a year. Like, I should get something. And they're like, well,
we'll just call you a manager now.
yeah, there's no head count. So it's like,
Yeah.
we'll promote you the title only. It again, it's like many things. It depends on how you wield it. I would also demote it, title only promotions, if it's just for the sake of like making somebody happy, just to stay.
Well, that is the point. I mean, that's the whole point of a promotion is you're making someone happy and making them feel like they deserve to be there. So what? It just doesn't come with comp.
Yeah, I guess now I'm talking out loud. I'm probably demoted. I'm going to demote
Did I just convince you? Did I just sales you? Did I just swindle you?
You might have swindled me. No, but because I think maybe it is different in sales. It was like, I just wanted to get to management as quickly as possible. And I didn't care if you paid me the exact same. I just wanted to get into the management role.
Yeah. And there are so many companies where manager, you don't even have direct reports.
Right.
So who cares?
Right.
You know?
Right.
But
right.
interesting.
So maybe I changed my mind. I agree probably on the demote for the sake of just like, let's shut them up and not pay them more.
Yeah.
But I understand why some founders feel like constrained. Like, I don't have headcount to move you.
Totally.
I would love to move you. You're doing a great job, but I can't.
Yeah.
So like, I want to feel a progression. So here's a promotion. Here's a title promotion.
Yeah.
Which is some acknowledgement. It's a public acknowledgement still. But I agree. There should be a comp piece to it.
I hope you guys enjoyed that like little fight we just got in. No.
Yeah. No, our fights are much more vicious.
Our fights are far more vicious. We're throwing objects. There's a lot of canes.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it. That was a great episode on horrible bosses. We actually have so many more confessions that we
I think we'll run it back next week.
I think we'll run it back next week. I'm not sure. We'll
Yeah.
see. But if you are listening to Demoted, if you haven't followed us on socials, if you haven't liked, commented, and subscribed, and we actually have a new kind of feature or addition that we're releasing. Ross, I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, so we decided we wanted to get more multimedia involved in the pod. So on the demotedpodcast.com, you can now submit. We created a form that lets you submit your confession, your Dear Demoted, your constructive criticism, which I know people, or a hot tip if you've got some crazy, hot news out there that people don't know about that you want us to spew for you. We're happy to do it. But we also include voice memos.
Yep.
So rather than us reading these things, you can now submit a voice memo. Ideally, you keep it under a minute, but if it goes a little longer, maybe we might edit it just to cut it down.
Yep.
But it's always anonymous. We'll never reveal who you are, where you work, and you can create a name for yourself.
Yep.
So it's like Salty Sales Dog 67
Totally.
said, "What's up, Demoted? First of all, love the pod. Here's my issue."
First,
right?
you have to say something nice, and then you can kind of jump into.
You should probably always say, "First of all, love the pod."
Yeah, of course. Rate it 5 stars, all that stuff. But yeah, we're excited about the voice memo thing. Hope people enjoy that.
Yeah, you can hear your sweet little voice on the
sweet
pod.
little voice. And if you want to like mask your voice, we'll we can change it for you if you want. Like we could do a lot of things.
We can do that, but
Tech
I don't know
is
if I want to hear
crazy.
you being like,
Welcome to Demoted. Yeah.
We'll
We'll see. But yeah, so new voice memo coming soon, and tune in next week on
Demoted.
Demoted.